Good governance with good intention must be the hallmark. Implementation with integrity, the core value. Welcome to Gombe's transformative journey. We have a packed episode for you today. We start off with review of some of the major activities during the past week, which includes the convocation ceremony of the Gombe State University. We would also bring you highlights of the swearing in of 12 permanent secretaries, a new head of service, and 17 commissioners. In our sector in focus this week, I sat with the Secretary to Gombe State Government, Professor Abubakar Ibrahim Jodi, who shared with me some of the reform policies of the Yahaya administration and its economic development drive. Sit back and relax as we take this transformative drive. I am Landry Hadeyemi.
Distinguished persons as honorable commissioners.
4 months after the inauguration of the Inuwa Yahaya administration for a second term in office, the Gombe State Executive Council is finally in place. During the week, Governor Yahaya swore in 17 commissioners after screening on the floor of the Gombe State House of Assembly. The state chief executive charged his newly formed team to hit the ground running and aid him in fulfilling his aspiration and vision of all-inclusive prosperity and development.
It is with gratitude to God Almighty that we gather here today to witness the swearing-in of the newly appointed commissioners and permanent secretaries, two important positions that are crucial in the successful implementation of the development agenda for Gombe State. I would like to extend my warmest congratulations to the newly appointed commissioners and permanent secretaries. Your appointment is informed by your qualifications, dedication, loyalty, and commitment to the progress of our dear state.
The new members of the Gombe State Executive Council, buoyed by hundreds of associates and supporters, pledged their loyalty to Governor Yahaya. They assured all gathered that they are committed to the mission of transforming Gombe State.
We, the honorable commissioners, will not shy away from imbibing that culture of hard work with integrity and the interest of the people at heart. We will serve you with all honesty, loyalty, and integrity. We promise you that one.
Gombe State has concluded plans to establish an investment promotion agency that would be responsible for driving both foreign and domestic investments in the state. It is leveraging on its vast natural resources, affordable labor, strategic location, and reputation for peace. All these dovetail into the state's 10-year development plan. The agency would promote, facilitate, and coordinate investments in Gombe State.
I understand that the establishment of a state investment promotion agency holds paramount importance in advancing the economic landscape of our state. It does not only signify our dedication to fostering a conducive investment climate, but also underlines our commitment to enhancing socio-economic development for the benefit of our dear state and citizens. Today's event is therefore in line with government's commitment to look into the critical aspects of the agency and to empower our community to contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of Gombe State. We will also coordinate it so as to foster and attract investment opportunities in the state and ultimately generate employment for our teeming youths.
The state government has already taken steps to start meeting and bringing investors in the state in line with its goal of bringing private sector development to the state. And this is clearly shown in the state's development plan, Devagom, that shows the pillars and areas of focus of the state's development. Now, the state has so many interests with different people and companies coming to want to invest, and it has become very essential that they now have an organization dedicated to meeting the needs of investors, but also being in the middle to also facilitate the growth and the achievement of the development goals in line with the state's goals.
It is good that we have people that are yearning to patronize us in the state, but the tactics or strategies put in place are things that we are not really aware of. But with the little we have had just today, I think the paper just presented now, we are quite abreast on what the factors we need to consider for investment to ensure that we have strong leadership, to ensure that the atmosphere is free from any encumbrance, like we are quite secured in the state, and then we are on top of poverty in the state.
Also during the week, the Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali, commissioned a new College of Pharmaceutical Sciences building at the Gombe State University constructed by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The commissioning of projects, lectures and media engagements were all part of activities building up to the Gombe State University's joint convocation ceremony.
On behalf of the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who is unavoidably absent because of the exigencies of office, is the glory of God and the benefit of our team.
Over the years, many students and other people that came to pass through this university in terms of either staffing or whatever, have grown to be very, very instrumental in helping the growth of this very important country of ours, particularly Gombe State. And I would like to pledge that by the grace of God, we shall continuously see it to attain greater heights. That will be done only if we dedicate ourselves and commit ourselves to doing the needful and doing it at the right time. So I pray that as we commission these buildings, we'll put them to good use, and we shall make sure that those that are yet unborn will come to pass through and benefit from this university. God knows that every good leader must have this in mind wherever and whenever he has the opportunity to participate in the provision of such a facility. We thank God that virtually all those that went through at TED Fund happen to be associated with Gombe, and we have no wonder that they were able to impactfully help us to have all these beautiful infrastructure, these structures that cost tens of billions. When I came in as governor, the first project amongst which I did was to take this, the drainage of the monstrous gully that traversed through the university and passed through Malaina and Kagarawa and get to Umbwa Uku. That helped in securing, the infrastructure, especially the communication ground and the students' hostel and other structures within the university. We shall continuously do so.
No doubt, projects undertaken with these funds have remarkably impacted on the mandate of the university in facilitating teaching, learning, and research. I therefore wish to commend the management of the university for assiduously monitoring and ensuring the successful delivery of the various intervention projects executed from inception.
The projects to be commissioned today, 8 of them, the total sum of over 5 billion naira was expended in the construction of all these projects. And this is just part of it. Other interventions don't have been better. There are so many that cannot be easily quantified.
Beyond physical infrastructure, the Vice-Chancellor of the university touted the achievements of the institution. The institution has increased its enrollment of female undergraduates to 40% of its population. The grand finale of the week is the combined convocation ceremony of 4 sets of graduates by the Gombe State University. A total of 5,944 persons received various academic degrees. 7 dignitaries, including Vice President Kashim Shatima and former Secretary to the Federal Government, Mr. Boss Mustafa, were among those honored with a doctorate degree. The visitor to the institution is proud of its growth and achievements in 19 years. His hope is that the products of the university would be solution providers and model citizens.
Let me at this juncture congratulate our new graduates for achieving this important academic milestone, as the university found them worthy of honors in both character and learning. As you leave this institution as graduates, you are ready to embark on a new adventurous journey, ready to contribute to the progress of our society. I have no doubt that each one of you will make a significant impact in your chosen fields.
I therefore call on our new graduates to carry on this excellent tradition. As we step out into the world as graduates, remember that you are the outlook of this university and of Gombe State. You are leaders of the tomorrow, innovators and change makers. You are expected to use your knowledge and skills to contribute positively to the betterment of your country.
Gombe State University currently has over 18,000 students. Its primary goal is to provide desperately needed skills and expertise in a rapidly developing state. Those are some of the major events in Gombe during the past week.
In our sector in focus this week, I sat with the Secretary to Gombe State Government, Professor Abubakar Ibrahim Jodi, who was also the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri. He shared with me some of the reform policies of the Yahaya administration, its infrastructure development drive, and its plan to make Gombe the commercial and economic hub of the Northeast region. There was an event you attended or you represented the government recently where the talk of creating an agency that will be responsible for promoting investments and commerce to build a robust economy in Gombe. So thinking about that, what's the vision behind this agency?
Yeah, of course, the idea of creating an agency came out as an output or maybe as a result of the first summit we had on investment. You need to give the investor the confidence. The investor will not be working on committee because he believes a committee can just go overnight.
Yes.
So he needs something. He needs a place he can go to, an office written, that he can go there, discuss his business and investment. At any given time, he can relate to that same office to be able to understand what is going on. So we felt there's need for this agency to come into play. The agency will be the one to link up with the investors, answer all the questions the investor would want to know about. The industrial park, you are aware, that is the hub. So far, it is being managed by the Grocol. Grocol is a company. A company also will also be competing. So you cannot bring in a company to be the one to oversee all other companies. So we felt an agency of government where you bring in technocrats, you bring in maybe diplomas, people that can relate with people internationally. So confidence is what government has in mind. So that if you want to have somebody to bring in his money, he need to now be comfortable that, okay, if I bring in this money, it will not going to disappear in thin air. And that is the thinking. That's why the
agency is being set up. So looking at this agency, the success of the first investment summit, the proposed investment summit again later this year, and the show of interest by investors in the industrial park, the Muhammad Buhari Industrial Park, and other businesses springing up in Gombe. How do we bring this together to develop the state?
You see, we are happy with the response of investors all over the world. As I speak to you, you'll be surprised what you'll be seeing in the second summit. The people that have shown interest all over the world. The Turkish are coming, the Chinese are coming, some American companies are coming. In Europe, they are coming over. So all this, you'll be surprised the people that have shown interest in what we are doing here in Gombe. Indeed, one of them, the Nigerian Exports Promotion outfit, came here and they advised that the 40 megawatts we have in Dadinkowa may not be even sufficient for some companies. Indeed, one of them said one single company has 65 megawatts.
Requirements.
The other one says he requires about 86 or 87 megawatts. So if these two will come, they will not even have anything. So they have started suggesting what we can do to improve on what we have already. So you see, these are the kind of things that we are talking about. So we've started talking, we've started discussing with the company that constructed the Dadinkowa Dam, selling the idea, what can we do? They said it's possible. So what we are trying to do now, okay, what do we do? We now want to divide the companies into two. The small, into three, small and medium. Then, of course, the large ones.
The large ones.
All right, so the small and medium may benefit from the power that we have at the moment. So the bigger ones, maybe somebody is suggesting bigger ones can generate their own power. They can create their own, generate their own power. Whatever is the surplus, they can even sell.
Sell to the smaller
ones. So that is another outfit. So we didn't know this one was possible. So the whole thing here is we have the goodwill. We want to start it. We want the whole world to come, and this is where we are now. So for this, we are good to go.
Good to go. So apparently, Nigerians should be very excited about the second Gombe Investment Summit coming up before the end of the year. So let's look at one other investment and the business area. That is the mega park. The mega park, the governor went there recently to inspect the place. The committee has been meeting. I spoke to some of the union leaders of the transport workers. They've also bought into this. It's a massive project. It's a massive project, mopping up all the parks in the city in one location. Just share with us the vision behind this and what the government hopes to achieve, including the area of revenue generation.
Yes. You see, the whole thing, the mega park, the airport, and the industrial park, they are connected. There is no way you will do this massive thing without outlets or where these things, goods can be transported and goods can be moved out and brought in freely. So the mega park, when we came in, we discovered, yes, it was conceived by the previous government, but we felt it's a good idea. Okay, so what we did was to now, okay, what is required to complete it? So we now worked on that. Of course, it's a project that was initially maybe billed for about 6 billion. So far, we have spent over 9 billion. As it is, the committee we've set up to now discuss the issue of movement and whatever are coming up with new ideas and innovations and other improvements that needs to be done. We don't know the financial implication, but the idea here is to make sure the government want the whole state to be planned in such a way that you can ask for where the motor park is, then you are driven there. Just like the airport, we don't have airports all over the place. So we want it centralized. That gives us the latitude to be able to provide all the necessary security apparatus there. Everybody's attention is on that place. So, but the most important thing is for it to be put into use so that that place is now used and then it is the pride of the state. So we are, like you rightly pointed out, we are particular about moving the present, what we call Bauchi Park, and then the Duku Park. Yes, Dadinkowa is also conceived, but again, you see Dadinkowa at the other
end of town.
The other end of the state. So that one may not be an issue, I say, but these two, because they are proximate to the mega park, definitely they will have to give.
Of course, Gombe line too has to move.
That is it. Gombe line will have to move because it's in the center of the state. We want to use that place for some other things.
Some other things.
One of the things we had was to bring in the power, what do you call it, the fire service to that place. Because it's central, it can reach out to anywhere in emergency. So that is the thinking. Unless, of course, if we think otherwise later. But this is where we're going.
So you are confident that your promise to the people of Gombe, following His Excellency to campaign in 2018, 2019, and again in 2022, 2023, that Gombe would not remain the same. Gombe will be set on the path of accelerated development.
I am telling you, Gombe already, well, what we did during the first tenure, we kick-started the vehicle, literally. So we were on the move. We just got about 50 kilometers per hour. I'm telling you, by the time we now get to somewhere around 2024, 25, we would have gotten to about 80, 87 kilometers per hour. So people should be able to wait. That we may even exceed the limit of 100 kilometers per hour by the time it is 2027. No slowing down, no stopping. Gombe is on, and then there will be no going back. We want to set the function of Gombe in such a way that no amount of bad governance will change it.
You change it. We certainly would follow you on that journey, and we bring in the progress to the people of Gombe and the rest of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you.
So we'll be speaking with the Secretary to Gombe State Government, Professor Abubakar Ibrahim Jodi, who has been sharing with us the vision of Governor Yahaya and the rest of the team, which forms the administration, on how they intend to take Gombe to the promised land and make it the pride of Nigeria on the part of accelerated development. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
And that has been the interview on this segment of the program. Join us for the concluding part of the program. My name is Lanre Adeyemi.
During the week, Governor Inuwa achieved the milestone of his 62nd birthday. Leaders from across the globe sent in sterling congratulatory messages. Happy birthday to a visionary and compassionate leader.
Beyond just interacting with leaders of Gombe State, but also seeing firsthand some of the policies being implemented and the infrastructure being put in place, it is apparent that Gombe State is on the right path to fulfilling the dreams of its founding fathers and the aspirations of its larger populace. That's much we can take on this episode of Gombe's transformative journey. Join me again next week. But before then, you can watch this episode and others on our social media platforms. I am Lanre Adeyemi.